Hey Ivan, good to see you.
Hey guys, how are you? Can you hear me fine?
There's a bit of noise behind, but can you face the light? Is it possible? Because there's a lot of light behind you.
I can maybe go to a different area because I'm sitting outdoors. I can go
Okay.
indoors.
You just need to face the light. That's it. This is much better now.
But I'm standing. I need to sit on the table. Maybe I can.
Sit down somewhere else
I
if
can
you
go
can.
inside. I can do it indoors. Is okay here?
Yeah. Better.
How are you guys? So good to connect.
Good to connect. You have. What are you doing? You are reversing. Sorry, you're aging in reverse. We need to know that first. What is happening? And
Yes.
for all our audience watching us on various platforms, this is the 69th episode, and somehow we have Ivan on the 69th episode of
There you go. You
Aura8.
already know the
Ivan,
secret. You know the secret. Secret to staying healthy is good exercise, good sex every day. You eat good food, and that's how you go younger.
absolutely.
Everybody would say
Ivan,
that.
100%. Ivan, we have been meeting each other at various parts of the world in the last 3 4 years. But then tell me, how do you have so much of energy to make sure that you're always on the go?
I mean, for me, it's like I love what I do. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I love what I do, right? And if you love what you do, it doesn't feel like work ever. Like I don't really do anything that feels like work or like, oh my God, I have to wake up and go here. I mean, yeah, I have a pretty hard life. I was just in Europe, I was in Central for a few weeks. I flew all the way to Singapore to meet with the CEO of OKX for 3 days, 16-hour flight. Then I flew back here. Now I'm on the yacht here in Croatia. But I made that long mission. Many people will probably think twice about it, like, oh my God, so far out. But it's like I enjoy it. And the 3 days I was there, I have zero regret. It was a great time, great feeling. The next 2 months, I'm literally like, I fly from here to Spain, then Malta, and then I fly to the US for 2 weeks, then back to India for 5 days, then back to the US for Burning Man. So for me, I don't mind doing all these long flights or like staying on the go because I enjoy this, and everywhere I show up, the experience usually tends to be worth it, right? And I can do this right now. I probably couldn't do this later in my age. So I can do this right now, and I probably couldn't do this later.
I totally agree with you on that because uh, I was actually in a cab with a Singaporean driver in Singapore who was dropping me off to the airport, and I was like, you guys are so lucky. You have the Singaporean passport. You can travel anywhere you want to. Because I was on a different trip, right? I'm sure you understand the pain of an Indian passport. Because whenever we have to travel anywhere, we need to like plan in advance, get our visas, and all of that sorted. But then what he told me actually kind of woke me up because he said that not everybody gets this opportunity to travel. We might have the strongest travel document in the world, but not everybody gets that opportunity. It was kind of an eye opener for me because at times when you tend to travel a bit, you tend to be like, okay, do I need to travel? Do I need to go? But then kudos to your spirit. Let's talk about the topic of the day, the Web3 founder playbook. First, I would love you to introduce yourself, though I know a lot about you, but I would love to know what new you have been doing. Please go ahead and introduce yourself to all our audience. Ivan.
Yeah, for anybody listening, thank you guys for your time. Really appreciate you all coming in. Just to give you a quick background about myself, my name is Evan Luthra. I got started in the technology space pretty early on. I was one of the first few hundred people to build apps for the iPhone. I built about 30 plus apps, had my first exit at 17, ended up starting my company, moving to Silicon Valley, and I was living in SF for a bit. While I was living in SF, here came up to Bitcoin for the first time. Bitcoin is under $300, and then didn't really look back. Kept investing. Ended up investing in some Web2 companies. Ended up investing in the seed round of XRP and Hedera Hashgraph, HBAR at less than 10 million valuation. Right, these were equity investments. They blew up. I got tokens because of the equity I held, and I was able to liquidate that. And these were like 500x, right? I'm like, holy shit, this is the future, this is the best. So didn't really look back from there, kept investing more and more, kept pushing the movement forward, and traveled to over 70 countries, speaking live in person about Web3, about crypto, pushing the movement forward, getting as many people as possible onboarded. During that journey, also I'm setting up KOL Capital. As I traveled, as I gave speeches, my personal audience grew. Have about 2 million people across different social networks that follow me, and end up setting up KOL Capital, which tends to be my fund, which is basically a syndicate of all influencers and leaders who come together and we invest in companies together. And more recently, over the last couple of years, I've been investing very heavily also in frontier tech companies, AI companies, and that's been a major focus for me. Right now, most of my time goes, traveling to different places. I love to travel, love to see new places, meeting exciting partners, investing and supporting them in the best way I can to get them started, to push them ahead, and running the fund and investing in fast-growing technology companies and smart entrepreneurs I come across.
Thank you, Ivan, for that. And just for my, personal agenda, what are you eating or what are you not eating? Because you are clearly aging in reverse. Like, what is happening?
So I have a pretty big focus on longevity. I really believe at a special point in time in history where if you're able to stay young and fit for the next 5 to 10 years, you'll be able to extend your life by 100 years more, right? So we would have the potential to live up to 200, maybe even 300, right? Technology is progressing and growing so fast. We have this opportunity to stay young. So for me, I normally try to eat healthy, stay healthy, eat the best food I can, and that's what takes most of my focus. And as much as I can do that, the better it is, right? Eat healthy, eat greens, eat your vegetables, eat your meats. I like to eat raw fish, and then also exercise. Exercise is very important. The more you exercise every day, like if you like to go to the gym, go have some sex, right? That's what I said. So that's actually true because it burns calories. So it's like you gotta keep moving. You gotta keep your body. I was now here. I'm in the water. I'm swimming a lot. I was using the jet ski. So all these things they lead to like your body moving. I wear a Whoop. Tells me how much I sleep. Sleep is also a big killer. So if
Yeah.
you can sleep, make sure you get plenty of sleep every day. Be well rested because when you sleep is that's when you actually get better and healthier. So that's like that's another big way. But you really got it right. So it's more about staying healthy, being active, and eating the right things, and treating your body like a temple. That's the main
But
reason.
are you taking peptides?
I do take peptides. I did take some Redditude before that allowed me to lose weight and get more fit. I did take some peptides. I did take GHKC that gives you a glow. I've thought about taking other peptides, but at this moment, I am not taking anything else.
Great. Good to know your stack and looking forward to kind of use that. But let's talk about Web3 Playbook for founders. Do you think this uh, bear run has been pretty bad, or do you think it's part of the cycle?
I think this bear run has been pretty bad, no doubt. But I think when you look at how bad it is, because the whole market has grown significantly, right? So you have to look at it from a perspective that this was a market. The last cycle was half, not even half of where it is today. So as the market grew, the bear market also grew. When the bull market grows, the bear market also becomes bigger. So that's what it really is. A big bear market is a sign of growth in crypto. If you look at the perspective, right? So yes, when the bull market comes, it's going to be hallelujah. It's going to be the biggest bull market we've ever seen. So that's the way I look at it. I think, yes, this has been bad because there's been a lot of money extraction, right? You see a lot of big actors come in, launch meme coins, extract liquidity from the markets, presidents launching meme coins, taking out liquidity. So that all those things definitely affect the retail. The retail loses money on these things. I've always been a value-add investor. I invest and I hold long-term. I value invest and I buy and hold investor, right? And I think long-term, a lot of these people come in, make money and they run away, right? So they scam and they go away. So that has made an impact for sure. But in no way am I any less bullish than I ever was before. Yes, I'm not doing day trading. I'm not buying and selling every day. I'm just buying and holding. So in that respect, I do think that this is a big market. There's a lot of future potential for us. But yeah, have I lost a lot of money in the last year? I've lost a shit ton of money. I lost tens of millions of dollars. What am I going to do about it? I'm going to sit down and cry, or I'm going to try to get better. Yeah.
I totally agree with you on that you are a long-term holder, diamond hands in more ways than one, because I was onboarded by Mario Nofal into Web3 during the BitCloud days.
I onboarded Mario Nafal into Web3, so I got him into Web3 in the
Okay,
first place.
okay,
Yeah, there you
great.
go.
Now that's a great connection, right? So when we got into BitCloud, he started Creator Fund, if you remember.
I remember very well. I
So
was
I,
invested in Creator Fund.
So I was the one who was deploying that money into the creators. So getting Makni, the OG tech guru, through getting Nikhil Chenappa, to getting Vikram Bhatt, the director of Gulam, and a lot of guys, I got them in, I had to explain it to them what it is. And then I was investing that money that came through y'all from Creator Fund onto these creators. What a crazy time that was. And some time back, I actually checked your profile, and you still have those tokens that you're holding, which was ideally at one point of time close to 1 million, and now it
It was
is
over
like
two
I can't
million.
even.
Yeah, it was
Sorry?
almost $2 million. I had almost $2 million on BitCloud,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
I didn't really cash a lot of them because a lot of these tokens were in my own tokens value. So I didn't want to fuck up my investors. But it was a great time, man. BitCloud for what it was wonderful. I also actually helped a few influencers. I don't know if you remember Rushi Rotela. So we helped out Rushi Rotela's coin on BitCloud. We got her onboarded. But it was an exciting time. I think they were not able to find the right product market fit, and that's why they ended up where they are. But while they were active, it was a wonderful time, and I think it was great.
Absolutely. Those days were supremely crazy. We could see you, we could see Balaji, we could see Dharmesh, all these guys on that platform, and actually that brought in the perhaps the credential that we were looking for it. And Snoop Dogg was there, so that was pretty interesting. But tell me that why do you think BitCloud failed, right? Because I think it's still dear to me because I started off the entire Web3 journey from there. What do you think really went wrong? Because after they listed on Coinbase, from $100 it went to 180, and then
I think finding the product market fit, right, with the token there, it was extracting a lot of liquidity away from the actual creators. People were using BitCloud for the purpose of BitCloud, but not the same people buying the BitCloud token. There were people who were buying the BitCloud token just as purely as an investment, right? I want to invest in this token and see where it goes. But then there was a lot of people who were talking about a completely different thing. So that makes a little bit of a difference, right? So was it, was it like, I think it really came down to product market fit. They couldn't find the right product market fit, and that was what was the main difference, and that made a big difference.
interesting. In fact, I met Tanmay Bhatt a couple of years ago during Solana's event in Singapore. And Tanmay was like, dude, I lost a lot of money. I said, bro, welcome to the club. We all did. But then in 2026, do you think what should a founder look at? Because funding is dried up. AI has taken over most of the stuff that is happening today. What do you think? Like, how would a founder raise money in today's day and age? Because I don't think anybody is really deploying right now.
I mean, so it's like, yeah, right now I'm deploying capital, but I'm not deploying so much actively in Web3 as much as I'm doing in Web2. I'm doing some Web3 companies more on the intersection of Web3 and AI, right? So I believe AI agents are going to run the future, and AI
Yeah.
agents are going to use crypto programmatic money to run the world. So that's a big focus for me. So I'm definitely deploying capital very actively in AI deals. I invest in all the recent AI labs, Anthropic, OpenAI, XAI. Yeah, I'm looking at investing in Kimi right now. So I'm active in that. I'm very active in that space. But at the same time, it's like, you know, it's like, yes, investing in Web3 directly right now in token projects is not ideal because most of the time you end up getting scammed, right? So, and in a bull market, you can invest in the same deals. You put in 1/10 the effort, you get the same ROI back. You put 10 times the effort right now to get 1/10 the result. So that's why me personally, if you're a builder, this is the time to build. But if you're an investor, if you're a long-term investor, this is the best time to buy Bitcoin, right? But
Yeah.
altcoins, maybe better to wait out until you see them because altcoins follow the narrative and the trend. RWA is a big trend for me. Tokenization is a big narrative for me. It doesn't matter it's bull or bear, eventually it's going to win, right? Tokenization RW is eventually going to win. So these kind of projects I'm investing in every day, and I'm deploying capital every day. So that's where I come in from. So, but for me right now, I personally believe as an investor in Web3, like as KOL Capital, we invested 50 million plus in the last 2 years. But in the last 6 months, we haven't really done more than a couple mil, right? So it's been very, very low, and we have been by choice, because why should influencers also push any project and stuff right now when there's no retail, there's no interest from the retail side?
Absolutely. And in fact, we have a partnership with BitAngels, and every Friday we get Michael Turpin in to know what's happening in the market, and Michael Turpin and you share the same sentiments. But let's do this properly. A project comes to KOL Capital. Walk me through what the influencer actually gets. The person watching this right now cannot get. Price, size, unlock.
So
Walk me through
the
the
diff,
real numbers.
so I have 2 million followers, right? So I can invest in a company. The value of the money I bring to the company is not as much as the value of the influence I can bring. If I go and talk about a company, I invest in this company, all 2 million people see it. And many of them could go and invest further, and they could grow with that. So that's actually worth much more value to the company. With KOL Capital, what we do is actually a fee-free model. Most fund managers, they charge a 20% carry and a 2% management fee from the LPs to invest the money for them. In KOL Capital, I don't take any fee. I don't take any fees from my LPs. The fee they pay is to promote the projects that we invest in. That's what KOL Capital does. So we changed it. So normally, if you want to work with the influencer, okay, you could come to me right now. If you offer me $25,000 and I like your project, it's not a scam, I'll post about you, right? That's how the normal influencer industry works. But if you let me invest in your company, and you let me buy shares of your company, and then I promote your company, and the company does well, my shares go up in value, I invest 25K in you, but my shares become 100K, I'm going to post about you again. Imagine all my influencer friends do the same. They also all invest, they also all promote. There's no looking back. It just keeps getting better and better and better. So that's like the main value that I see, and that's like a big difference, yeah.
So on the day one of trading, who's underwater and who isn't?
Day one of trading, like we are not underwater, nobody's underwater, right? So the company, we normally buy tokens at a significant discount to the market price. Obviously, there's a lockup involved, but if the market price is saying it's $1 on OKX or Binance, we'll pay 50 cents for it, right? But it's locked up, so it's not liquid right away. So we have to hold it, and then we all push it. Usually, when all the influencers push it, more people find out about the project, people start using it, they start buying into the token. The token goes from $1 to $2. When it goes to $2, everybody wins. The retail wins, the influencers are up 4x because we paid half. But the whole market is, the team is up, the influencers are up, everybody's winning. So that's like a big difference. So it's like nobody's underwater. The only time somebody actually goes underwater is when we enter a bear market and the token falls under $1, then the public. But that didn't change anything. We didn't buy the tokens from the public. We bought it from the team's treasury. So that makes a massive difference also. So I think that's really that's the big differentiator. But in most scenarios, 98% of the deals we have done has always ended well. Only in some instances where it has happened where the deals have not done well is mostly because we were defrauded by the team and the team had bad intentions. They would just try to find a way to get traction and action to dump their treasury tokens on the retail, and they didn't care about the public.
Right.
Obviously, if you don't care about
No,
the community and the public, there's not much you can do. But most of the time when we invest, we win.
and you have about 900 people in the network. What happened? What happens to one who takes the allocation, posts about the token, doesn't disclose it, and then sells it back to the people who bought? Has anyone been actually removed from the group, or how is
I
that
mean,
working?
I mean, if you don't post about the deal and you end up taking the tokens, we just blacklist you from the next deal, and all the other KOLs find out that this is not somebody you can trust. Crypto runs on peer-to-peer trust. People trust me. That's why they invest in the deals I bring, right? And everybody on this whole industry works purely on trust. Most of the agreements we sign, they basically say, if you don't get any tokens, you can't do anything, right? That's what they say. But people still invest, and I still invest. I still sign a deal because you fuck up somebody once, you fuck up your reputation for life. That's the problem here. But everybody here is playing on reputation. Like this whole industry, Bitcoin is built on peer-to-peer trust. So that's like the biggest game changer that we have that we don't have that we don't have in other places.
True. And if you have to pick one deal from your book that didn't work, not that the market was bad, but what did you miss and what happened to the people who bought after you talked about it?
So one of my biggest things that I've done in the recent, I think the best productivity hack I've done in the last 6 months has been that I set up my AI agent, right? And my AI agent reads all my WhatsApp now, reads all my Telegram messages, reads all my emails. It's basically a digital twin of myself. I'm trying to build it in a way where it thinks and acts and behaves like me, right? That's what I'm trying to do. So that's what my AI agent can, and like, it read all my emails and it found out that I was off with SpaceX in 2019. I didn't end up taking the deal, right? That would probably end up becoming a big opportunity I missed out. That would have been like 100x on a big ticket, right? But I ended up investing in XAI, which eventually got SpaceX token, SpaceX shares anyways. But that was a big opportunity for me that I missed. Man, there's been so
Yeah.
many deals that I got the opportunity to invest in. I didn't do for one or the other reason, and they ended up doing well. It's even been the case where I invested in companies like Multibank. Like 4 years ago, they didn't launch for 3 years. They said they were launching next year, but they didn't launch for 3 years. I said, just give me my refund back, man. And they gave me a refund. A few months later, they launched. It's 100x, right? So I held for 3 years, only to take a refund back. So it's not even just like missing deals, but getting into deals and deciding opting in for a refund right before the rocket ship takes off. So, but you got to remember one thing. In this business, if you don't have a few losses, you don't have a few misses, you're doing something wrong, right? You got to have a lot of hits, misses to have a few hits. That's how it works. You have more misses than you have hits, but the ones that hit, they pay off really well and they push you to the next level.
And why did you choose to get a refund from Multicoin?
Because I didn't see, at least I didn't know that they were ever going to launch. They kept dealing me. It's going to happen. Every time they would say it's going to launch, they would say, oh, it's going to happen soon again. They kept pushing the launch ahead and ahead, and I thought, man, this looks like they were never going to launch. Obviously, I didn't know the internal. I don't work for the company. I had no internal knowledge or information, so I was acting purely based on the public sentiment. And the public sentiment would look like they were not going to refund me. So it was like, how do you go from there?
Interesting. And did you sort out your beef with BitGet? Because I remember back in the day, things were really blowing up, and you, I think, perhaps could be the
Yeah, we,
only
we ended up settling
individual.
it. Yeah, we ended up settling it.
Yeah.
I took BitGet to court, but we ended up settling it. I'm under NDA, so can't really speak much in
Okay.
a live session. But everything is good. We're friends again, and I think they learned the lesson, and they went ahead and took my feedback, and they made the changes, and I think they're on to better things now.
Brilliant. Let's talk about KOL Capital's track record that you have been doing, right? What do you think you should be judged on in public in terms of KOL Capital? Can you tell us
I
a
mean,
bit on that, like in terms of the number of people, in terms of the number of deals, the
we have about
profits?
900 plus KOLs that are part of the group. Like I said, we have actually refund guarantees with most of the deals we do now, and so either we make money or we get our money back. So in terms of track record, as investors, we don't really lose money. I think it's less than 2% of the deals that we lost money on. Most of the time, we get paid, or we get a refund. Like refunds are very very few. It's with a few companies where the team decided, oh, we don't want to do this, continue the campaign, take a refund, right? So yeah, it's almost like the only times I actually lost money is when the team delayed our token distribution. We had to chase them. The token went up really heavily. Obviously, we were up, like, setting on 10x. They gave us a token that was down to 3x. So instead of making 10x, we made 3x, but we still didn't lose significantly. So that,
Look,
and really, how would you judge us? I think you judge us on our community and our team. We have 900 of the biggest and the best influencers in Web3 and generally from around the world who are part of the group, who are investing in projects and supporting these projects to become better and bigger than where they are, right? We get a lot of projects reaching out to us every day, even today, saying, hey, can you help us launch? Can you help us market? And we say no to 90% of the companies that come to us. out of every 10 to 15 companies, I work with one company, right? I say no to majority of them because I have no interest in working with the trash. I only want to work with the hardest working and the smartest founders. And remember, we're putting our own money. Even though a refund guarantee, we're working for the project. Even if we opt to get a refund, we did work for it, we did promote it. So I'm not going to ever promote something I'm not fully mega bullish on myself.
Well said. Let's talk about an individual that actually got in touch with me also. This is back in 2020. CoffeeZilla. 5 years
Yeah.
on, people still lead with it, right? What's the version of the story that you would like to tell, and what do you wish you would have said
I mean,
then?
so coffee is like, I mean, for him, that guy makes money on talking shit about others. That's his whole business model, right? He comes up with
Yeah,
whatever shit, talks shit about others, and that's literally his whole business model. If you have to hate on other people to build your business, I would want to kill myself. I mean, to me, I actually went on and I did an interview with him, and I countered each of his claims one by one, and everything he said. So for me, it's like, okay, he's gonna talk shit anyways because he's talking about TRP. He's a very simple business model. He goes after famous people to get their followers to come to his channel and see. People like my life I live. I'm not the one who sits behind a screen and gets sued all the time. I've never been sued in my life. Literally, I've never been sued in my life. If I ever did anything wrong to anybody, don't you think they will sue me? They would have sued
yeah.
me right away. Coffee Still has been sued plenty of times. So it's very clear. I think that I can also go talk shit. Like if you talk a lot today, people still follow you anyways. So for me, I don't spend my time on negative energy. I spend my time on building. My life is great. I can walk anywhere. I can walk into any room anywhere in the world. Have no problems. People welcome me with open arms, and that's because of the reputation that I built. Right? I'm on a 50-meter boat in Croatia right now here. There's less than 0.001% of people in the world can even afford to step on your 50-meter yacht. So that tells you already, I'm doing well for myself. I don't need to talk shit about other people, and I think that's where I'll leave it, right? So he asked me to come on, I came on, I counted each of his claims. If anybody had ever had a problem with me, all these people, he didn't provide any proof of anybody calling. People like to talk shit just because they can't understand how can I live this life, right? So they're like, oh, he must be scamming. That's not how it is, right? It's complete bullshit. If I scammed you, why don't you make a lawsuit? Why don't you sue me? Nothing. I have plenty of assets. You can see I own homes in Australia, in Mexico, in Dominican Republic, in India. I have homes in so many countries. I have assets, public assets. I'm a pretty public figure. People actually know my hotels and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I've never done anything wrong because I would never do to somebody what I would not expect them to do to me, and that's how I
No,
live.
I would agree with you. I've spent a lot of time with you, and we have spoken a lot in Bali, in Hong Kong, and various countries. And I can also vouch for your character that you have never spoken about. Uh, you know, let's scam somebody, or let's try and see what we can get out of it, and not give them the value. So I would second that too. Let's, I was saying that CoffeeZilla also approached me to get some juice on Mario Nofal. And I think, yeah, so they were like, what has he done? Has he not paid you or anything? I said, no, I've had a great relationship with him. He's paid me, and I worked fine with him. So there is no,
That's the
I
thing, man.
there is no juice
If you're
that I
at
can give
Mario's
you.
level, if you're at my level, I'm invested in 700 companies. I've hired thousands of people to provide services for me. Some of the deals will go wrong. I will obviously not pay you. But if you think I owe you money, go and do a contract. Don't go and talk shit to CoffeeZilla, because if you think I owe you money, there's a contract. Go fucking sue me. You will get paid the legal fee and more. That's how law works. But many people think that, oh no, I was owed this money, I didn't get paid, so I'm gonna go talk shit about it. That's not how the world works. Anybody can talk shit about anybody. I can say Coffee Dilla has a 1-inch dick. Does it make it true? No. But a lot of people will say yes, 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 and they will follow. Mario Nafal is the same. A lot of people talk him as a scam, but he's not a scammer to me. Every deal I've
No,
done with
it's
him
not to me
has
too. Yeah.
generally ended well, right? So, but I know a lot of the deals that he did with companies, they didn't go well, and that's normal. When you do deals with hundreds of companies, not every deal is going to go well. There will be some deals that face friction that don't end up well. So that's just what it is.
True that. Let's talk about what you had to unlearn between the 2001 cycle and this one that we're currently going through? Did you have to unlearn anything?
I mean, a big lesson is like, right, like you can't be that trusting anymore as when the industry started,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
When the
True. So
when this
true.
industry
So
started,
true.
now there's a lot of riffraff, there's a lot of fake people in the space who coming in just to cheat you, just to take money from you, and just like there's a lot of that kind of people that didn't exist before. So that's really been the biggest lesson that I'm gonna do a little bit more due diligence. Before I was doing spray and pray, right? I was investing in. There was in the last 2021 cycle, there were days I was doing 3 to 4 investments every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So literally, so that's like a big differentiator that's there, and like that's been
Right.
the biggest lesson: trust but verify.
True. I remember those days. Somebody called me up, I think at 2 a.m. in the morning when I was in Bangalore and said, "Hey, there's an interesting project. Do you want to invest?" I said, "Okay." Uh, I said, "Okay." And he said, "How much?" I said, "Okay, 25K." I transferred him the funds and I forgot about it. I think after 6 7 months, he calls me back saying that, "Hey, dude, that token did 3x and we exited. Which account number do you, sorry, which wallet address do you want me to send the funds in?" And I had absolutely no clue why is he asking me this, because I was asleep, because I trusted him. I said, okay, and forgot about it. I didn't mention it. And then, it's so true. Back then, the trust that we had amongst each other was something else compared to what it is today. Let's talk about, what does a project have to show you today that it didn't have to 2 years ago. That specific thing perhaps is
I, I
kills
would
kills
invest
the
a
deal
lot.
right now.
I would invest a lot in early stage ideas. If you have an idea, I would invest in it if I like you. So I would do a lot of that, right? And I did a lot of that. But at the same time, now I'm still a pre-seed investor. If I like your idea, I would invest in it. But I'm much more careful now. I don't do that as much in crypto. In crypto now, because since AI came around, building a product is so easy. With AI, you can build technology very, very easy. If you don't have a product to show me now, it means you're not a capable individual. You're not competent. So that's really that's the difference, yeah. And like now, I want to see more than just an idea. I want to see a little bit more.
So influencer marketing is getting repriced hard. If attention isn't paid per post anymore, where does it actually get paid in 2026?
I mean, now it's a lot less about attention, a lot more about conversion, right? What can you convert? So a good example is also if you look at like why do crypto KOLs and crypto influencers, even with somebody with 200,000 followers in crypto, makes a lot more money than somebody with 2 million followers coming from Hollywood or Bollywood. Why is that, right? It's simple numbers. Like I charge more for a post than Urvashi Rotella. She has 70 million followers. I have 2 million. Why is that? It's very simple. If I post about a coin, every one of my followers can invest the maximum amount of money that they own, and they can even take a loan to invest more money if they fall in love with the coin or the vision I post about. Versus Urvashi posts about a shampoo or a coffee, you're not going to buy more than 10 box packets of the coffee or maybe 1 box of the shampoo a week, right? That's the maximum you will buy. Nobody buys $1 million of a shampoo or like $1 million. I
Right.
can go and buy millions of a coin if I like what you post about it, right? So you could buy millions of the coin I post. So it's all about conversion and value from the post. That's why in crypto, the value is high because if I post, people trust me for financial advice. And that's the same for all crypto KOLs. So there's no limit on how much somebody can invest once they see and once they follow. That's really a big differentiator. And I think now we are getting more and more towards where people are tracking conversions. They're tracking actual more than just what they're posting. Actually, what the post or conversions are they getting? That makes a big difference. By the way, I just saw a question come in here. Questions can be asked.
Yeah, let me hold on. Let me put that question up.
I'm curious to know what platform. Okay, so this is very interesting, right? So I use a Hermes agent. It's my news research. It's like the Hermes bag. That's my personal AI agent. You got to remember, most people in the world right now who have used, first of all, very, very small person in the world uses AI. out of those who use, they use like a chatbot. They use like ChatGPT or Claude, and they do everything in that. But that's like having a smart employee, but he's handcuffed. He can only tell you things, it can't do things for you. An AI agent is actually able to execute and do things for you. That makes a big difference, right? That makes a massive difference. So I think that's what you need to look at. Is like setting up your, so once you install Hermes, or OpenClaw was the first one, I prefer to use Hermes. You install them on your system, they can control your whole laptop. Anything you can do on a screen, they can do it for you. And that's what I like to use Hermes for. I have not written an email in the last 3 months. Every email I get, my AI agent reads it for me, prepares a draft, sends it out. I want to change something, I say, hey, change this and send it out. I just send an audio message, it writes the whole email, sends it out. I want to book any flight, I don't use my assistant or travel agent anymore. I tell my AI agent, go on Emirates, go on this website, find the best flight. It has a credit card. All my online shopping, I see something on Instagram I want to buy, take a screenshot, send it to my agent, goes on the website, places the order, order gets delivered. Full end-to-end solution done by the AI agent. That's the beauty of it, right? Once you use the agent, it is no more handcuff. It's the brain of Claude or of OpenAI, ChatGPT, but it can do everything you can do on a computer, and that's what is really exciting for me.
Absolutely. I need to ask you offline, how do you use, how have you given your access to WhatsApp to Hermes? Because I'm not able to crack that. I've been able to crack everything else. I also run G-Stack by Gary Tan, but I haven't been able to crack giving it the access to my WhatsApp. So I would love to know that from you. Okay, now if you had to build a brand from zero, no budget, starting Monday, the first 90 days, without your influence, what would you do, Evan?
Add value for people around you. The number one way in life to win is to add value for people around you. How can you fix problems for people around you? Building a brand doesn't happen in 90 days. It happens over long term. But if you can fix problems for people, and the more important people you fix problems for, the better you get. That's the secret to success, is adding value for people around you. And obviously when it comes to branding, go give some interviews, talk to the press. That's always key. If you can get yourself out there, that obviously makes a big difference. I used to do a lot of that, not as much anymore. But it's all about being out there, being relevant, or like being like CoffeeZilla, like just talking shit. Even if you just talk. Obviously, how good of a brand you want depends on what you talk. But if you just keep talking, you will eventually end up having a brand anyways. By the way, guys, I have a quick
So where is
cut off in a few minutes. I don't have too much of time, but yeah, just letting you know.
okay? We had scheduled this for an hour. I didn't know. You got to go?
I had to go in like 6-7 minutes, yeah, because I have to be somewhere at 4 p.m. Yeah.
Okay. So my last question to you is that where's the smart money moving, and what's the timeline that majority of us have been caught up to? Give me the category, not a coin or a token.
So if you mean smart money in crypto, or you mean generally overall?
Generally.
So generally, most of the money right now is going towards AI and AI infrastructure, like memory, chips, right? If you can build infrastructure for AI, in the short term, you will do very well. In the long term, if you invest in AI, the future is going to be run completely by AI and robotics, right? When Elon Musk talks about having civilization on Mars, he doesn't mean you and me going to Mars and doing the screws and setting up the cars. He means 1 million robots going and building everything for us, and we go and just chill there. That's what he means. So robotics is already, AI is replacing all the white collar jobs, right? Robotics will replace all the blue collar jobs. So anything you do will be done by robots. Anything you think will be done by AI. So what does humans do? They go and have a chill, they party and they enjoy. So that's what the future. So a lot of money is going around to build this infrastructure. In crypto generally, a lot of the money is going around tokenization. It's going around real world asset tokenization. Real world assets is worth trillions of dollars. Whoever ends up tokenizing that chain ends up winning in a big way. I invest in a lot of the top leading AI and tokenization firms, and it's the same thing I see everywhere. Whoever ends up winning a certain market will win long term.
Great. Well, for all our viewers, what are the tokens that you think we should be paying attention to? Are you paying attention to any tokens, or you are saying, okay, let's wait for the bull run to come in?
I like, I don't know who the viewers are, but if you don't know what you're doing, just buy Bitcoin, right? That's the safest thing you can buy. But if you, what I would do is do your own research, right? If you want to go into some RWA tokens, there's exciting tokens out there that in the RWA space that you can go after that are also interesting. So yeah, I mean, that would be my advice. Like, do your own research, get some Bitcoin, and then there's a lot of potential in the space, but I don't want to be the one telling you, because my advice to you is you go do your own research and then you will find out plenty yourself.
Great. That's the
You can always
time,
follow me
Evan
on
Luthra.
you can always follow me on Twitter. I share some deals that I buy, and I'm very active with the companies that I invest in. I share them about them all the time, so nothing to lose there.
Absolutely. Ivan, that's our time. Ivan is the general partner at KOL Capital. And credit where it's due, he took the questions most people would have ducked. You can find him on X, as he mentioned, and on Instagram too, if you like his lifestyle content, which, according to me, you would love it. The full write-up will be soon on kryptonite.ae. We have event partnership with over 140 companies with over 1 million impressions every month. And on Binance Square, we have 108K followers. With I hope this has reached about 100,000 plus people there. So everyone, thank you so much for watching us. Tomorrow we'll be back with another one. So everybody, cheers. 1 second.
Thank you
Stay back.
guys.
Stay back.